Okay, that is the last time you are going to pull that crap. You hear me?
Yes!
Do you hear me?
All right. 2025 Miami Dolphins season now is officially kaput. Dolphins lose to the Ravens 28-6. I thought the Ravens would get 27 points, but I thought the Dolphins would get 20. They underperformed a little bit. So that's mainly the deal here, guys. I'm going to get into the season's over. There's no miracle comeback here. I got some interesting news. I talked to somebody who's kind of talks to somebody inside the building. Got some news on that. Going to cover the game. Listen, this is what it's going to be. We're going to have a really nice pick this year. And we're going to do some shuffling. Let's hope the shuffling's right. But clearly, after this game, a lot of stuff's clear. We outplayed them in the first half. Look, we outplayed them 85% of the time in the first half. There was about, 10, 13% that we screwed up. The refs threw in 3, maybe 4% in there with that crazy call on Ollie. But the second half, man, we wet the bed, rolled in it, defecated in it, then called our friends, and then they did the same, and we had a party on that bed. That's what happened. The second half was a disaster, guys. So, look, we're our own worst enemy, and you got to go right back to the coach. McDaniel's not the guy. Unfortunately, I think the Dolphins feel sort of like he's the least of the problems, and I think they're right. From what I'm hearing from some people, that Grier is definitely on his way out. Whether that means he's really on his way out, like out of the organization or into the upper management, I don't know. He's got to be gone. At least there's some sanity from the organization if this is true. But they do feel kind of something with McDaniel, like he could be salvaged. I think that's crazy. This game, fumble by the two Washingtons. I'll go into first. Taj, that fumble. Terrible, terrible fumble. Then we're going to go for on 4th and 2, and Borum goes off sides. Then our kicker, who I haven't even bothered to learn his name because I'm not really big on special teams, and, this guy's not the best. He misses the field goal. And then on 4th and 2, we go 5 wide and do a fade with the 5'9" running back who doesn't seem to know how to do the fade right, which you got to expect. And then we go kaput on that. But if you really look at it, we were down 14-6. And there was that stupid call by Ollie, which definitely would have put us in the red zone. And we don't know if he'd get a touchdown out of that. We didn't get any touchdowns all day. Who says we would get one there? But you would have got 3. And then McDaniel, instead of going for the field goal, went for a 4th and 2. That would have been 3. And then our bonehead kicker missed the 3. We should have been up 15-14 at the half, even in a conservative way about things. And that's just McDaniel. He's a nervous Nelly. He made Wright inactive, and then Ollie gets injured. We really didn't run the ball the way we should have. We didn't tack inside. We had 4.9 yards on a day, 3.6 after contact. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's the Ravens. They weren't much better. So they had 1.3 yards before contact. We were worse. 4.3 on a day and 3.2. We had 1.1 yards before contact. But we ran inside 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 times on a day for a total of 20. They ran the ball 31 for 151. We ran 20 times. We had 5 to the left end, 1 to the right end, and a lot of stuff on the side. I understand with Ollie going down, but we weren't really attacking the interior too much. The first drive I thought was cutesy. The second drive where we stalled out. Well, that's the third drive. The third drive. The second drive is where we fumbled. The third drive where Borum, we had some nice little mixes in there. Unfortunately, he got so cute with these plays. Ollie's out in the corner blocking, and he gets injured. McDaniel works on smoke and mirrors too much. He definitely calls some interesting stuff, but he's just not consistent enough. He's nervous. I don't know if it's the wind blowing his call card, his hand shaking. They blew a timeout in the third quarter with 5 minutes left. We blew a timeout just shortly after that, at 2:42 in the third quarter. Then Malik Washington fumbles, and we're just not good enough. We're not good enough at any level. The defense, I thought, did pretty well. Lamar took a while to warm up. Defense played pretty decently. Chop got the concussion, which didn't help. I know some people are getting on Jalen. He gets a lot of close pressures. He missed the one on Lamar, who broke out and got. But guys, Weaver, I don't know if you noticed, but there's tight ends on the Ravens. How did we not focus on them? How did they get open so often? Did you see the one where it was Andrews I think it was Andrews, and the two quarterbacks, or it was a tight end, safety and a cornerback, knocked each other out. It's like a comedy show. It's going to be a long ride. Tua didn't play terrible. In a lot of ways, he outplayed Lamar. Lamar's touchdowns were kind of in the red zone tight. It wasn't like he made a lot of big plays. He had a couple of nice plays, but he was rusty. Lamar's a better player. I heard somebody say, people are kind of delusional. There's someone in the Twitter thing had Lamar breaking away from Jalen Phillips and saying, well, Tuanon would say, he'd blame it on the offensive line. Well, it wasn't a good block by the offensive line, but that's not Tua's bag. Mayfield probably would have been sacked. Goff probably would have been sacked. A lot of guys would have been sacked. Not very many people are going to get, like 3 or 4 guys are going to get out of that. That's not his bag. You try to ask Lamar to throw quickly like Tua does, he can't do it. You can't blame this on Tua. This is Grier not building right. A meltdown on the cap. McDaniel just not being good, not enough talent on a team. And then, Tua is a system quarterback, and you could see last week what he looks like in a proper system. We got so many holes. I don't know what. Jonah is still terrible. I don't know what his protection was on the day, but he had a couple of issues. I don't know what it is. I remember they had the one where he got beat very early. Tua got sacked on. But that's a guy we trade up for the second and third. We got loads of these guys. So they were beatable. The Ravens were beatable. But we couldn't beat them and ourselves. It's going to be a long season. We had some drops. Tua had one where it was picked, the deep play to Taj. That was definitely his fault. But Taj is a small guy. Why do we got all these small receivers? Westbrook Hines dropped a couple. He's not good. Waddle played well. But how many small? You needed a taller guy. It wasn't a great play. And there was 1 or 2 that was over the middle. But he also made some nice plays. He's just a system guy. And our system sucks. And a lot of it's wrapped around an OC head coach who's soft. He can pretend to be tough, but he's not the guy. I hope they don't just move Grier upstairs, promote the GM from within, and say we're going to run it back with McDaniel because they can't get anybody else. They got to move off McDaniel. They got to trade some of these pieces. I know Chop's got the concussion, but Chubb had probably his best game of the year. That's a guy you can move. You can get something from. Phillips, you can move and get something from. You're not resigning him probably next year. He's going to make money. So, people will laugh at him. Oh, it's only pressures, it's not sacks. He got 1 sack tonight. But he's coming off a major injury. That guy's value is going to be higher than what we could pay. We might as well get rid of these guys. I don't know what we're going to get for him. Douglas got injured. Clearly, we're just not good enough, guys. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be a rough ride to do coverage, to be really serious. Because I'm going to be on pins and needles waiting to see what Ross... Dan Marino was the honorary coach. How demented. Every time we do something like that, the year Shula and Zach Thomas, Zach Thomas goes to the Hall of Fame, we wash out. Lights. Shula, his when he was being honored, we washed out. And now we get Dan in here and we wash out like idiots. I don't know. It's going to be a long season. I'll try to do my best to keep this going. Look, if Ross can do the right thing, it's okay. If he can get a GM outside, real competition for his GM spot, and he's not trying to massage it, then there's sanity. I just want to know that sanity's there so I can find some joy here, because my fear is we're going to suck here and we're going to do something stupid and sucky here in the offseason. I don't know, guys. We'll see how it goes. Cover it week to week. At this stage, though, any win's kind of like a loss, as sad as that to say, because we're not 24 years with the longest tenure. I think it's the Raiders at 22. And the next team after that's 14 years not winning a playoff game. That's how crappy we are. We're crappy. We suck. Ross sucks. Let's hope he does unsuckify everything and does the right thing. We'll see. But I've heard that Grier is definitely on the hot seat, and that's good news. This game kind of puts a finale on the blip on the radar that was Atlanta. Sorry for being dismal, but that's what it is. It is the truth. I'll get back to you for some more coverage. I don't know. I'll try to do a suicide hotline maybe and try to talk you guys, and maybe you could talk me out of like hanging myself here. Anyway, good night. Hope you had a good time. We got tricks. We really don't get treats here in Miami too often. We got a nice Halloween trick. Gotta sing, be well. Go Fins. Curacao. Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.